Welcome to the Autodesk Tandem Quarterly Product Update. In this video, we'll explore new features and updates that simplify account administration, provide more flexible ways to organize systems, expand operational metrics, and introduce a new Tandem Connect plugin. The Edit Stream Settings feature gives users more control over stream configuration. With this feature, users can configure stream settings before starting the facility transfer. This helps teams prepare the facility data in advance and better align the transfer with available capacity. Why does this matter? When capacity is limited, users may need to reduce or adjust the streams included. This feature is separate from the facility transfer workflow. However, because streams are included in that process, users may need to edit stream settings before initiating it. For users, this provides a more predictable transfer process, reduces the risk of exceeding capacity limits, and gives teams greater control over which operational data is carried forward. As Autodesk Tandem expands across growing teams and building portfolios, account administration becomes an increasingly important part of day-to-day operations. This feature improves how administrators add, edit, deactivate, and remove users across Tandem accounts and facilities. We developed these enhancements to reduce repetitive steps in maintaining access, particularly for enterprise customers managing large teams across multiple projects. Previously, user management workflows were primarily organized around individual facilities. Administrators often had to repeat the same actions for each person in each facility. This made onboarding a project team, updating permissions, or removing access when someone left the organization more time-consuming than necessary. With these features, core account management actions require fewer clicks. Administrators can add, update, or remove permissions for multiple users in a single bulk action. They can also set a user's access level to none, temporarily making the user inactive while keeping the account visible in the user list, allowing access to be restored later without recreating the user's account information. A people-first management experience makes it easier to modify an individual's access across multiple facilities, rather than reviewing each facility separately. This is especially useful when employees change roles, rotate between projects, or leave an organization. These improvements help prevent account administration from becoming a bottleneck, and teams can maintain more consistent access controls. Previously, system creation was based on system classes. While system classes provide a standardized way to organize assets, users often already have valuable grouping information stored in asset parameters and design properties within their source models. With the ability to create systems using model properties, teams can create systems using properties imported from the authoring model. The feature addresses a common challenge. The structure used by an operations team may not always align directly with the system class structure of the design model. Teams can now use those existing values to define systems in tandem. For example, assets could be grouped according to a property representing a service area, operational zone, equipment grouping, or another project-specific classification. This allows organizations to use the data structures that already support their workflows, instead of having to reorganize assets around a single classification method. For users, this provides a more flexible and practical way to structure operational information. This release introduces several enhancements to metrics in Autodesk Tandem. Features include named states, state-based metrics, and an advanced formula editor. These capabilities give teams more control over how operational conditions are defined, measured, and analyzed. Named states allow teams to define operational conditions using a rules-based system. Tandem evaluates a stream against those rules and assigns a state to the associated asset. Equipment can be identified as scheduled or unscheduled, available or unavailable, or active or inactive. These conditions are not necessarily alarms, but they help owners and operators interpret stream data in operational terms rather than relying on raw values alone. Once states are defined, Tandem can measure how often an asset enters a condition and how long it remains there. This supports metrics such as downtime, mean time between failures, and mean time to repair. Owners and operators can evaluate asset reliability, identify recurring issues, and understand how quickly equipment returns to normal operation. The advanced formula editor expands metric creation beyond the calculations available out of the box. Teams can define custom formulas using available Tandem data and create metrics that reflect facility requirements, asset strategies, and internal performance standards. For users, this provides greater flexibility to measure reliability, compare maintenance outcomes, and evaluate asset performance using metrics aligned with how their organization operates. This release introduces AI-assisted capabilities for converters and filters in Autodesk Tandem Connect, helping users review and improve code and logic more efficiently. With agentic code review, users receive actionable recommendations grouped by impact. Critical issues identify problems that may prevent execution. Warnings highlight reliability or maintainability concerns, and informational recommendations suggest smaller improvements and optimizations. For owners and operators, this can help teams build connected workflows faster, improve code quality, and reduce the risk of issues affecting operational data pipelines. Autodesk Tandem Connect plugin for MaintainX enables teams to connect digital twin information with maintenance management workflows. The MaintainX plugin allows Tandem Connect pipelines to retrieve, create, update, and delete records through the MaintainX API. It includes service, gateway, and stream plugins and supports 27 record types, including work orders, assets, locations, parts, maintenance plans, meters, and vendors. For owners and operators, this integration helps connect asset context in Tandem with maintenance activity in MaintainX. That's all for this quarter's product update. Which update is your favorite? Be sure to tell us in the comments below, and thanks for watching.